Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 70 on my countdown to retirement. So today, I was thinking about the upcoming Fed meeting next week, and I wanted to be able to see whether it was going to make more sense for me to try and lock up some money that I have sitting in cash in a CD versus rolling over some T-bills that'll be coming due. So I checked out the CD rates today from some of the online banks and as well as some of the local banks in my area to see what the competing rates are in Georgia. And the one thing that you need to take into consideration when you're doing the comparison, at least if you're here in Georgia, is we have a state income tax that is a flat tax of 5.49% currently, and it's declining, and eventually it'll get down to 4.99%. But in 2025, it's 5.49. So you have to reduce your yield that you're going to get by the tax that you're going to pay on that versus what you would have on treasuries when you're doing the comparison. So I found at Bank OZK, they've got a 7-month CD that's paying 4.2%, and they've got a 13-month CD that's paying 3.8%. When you make the deduction in yield for state taxes, 4.2% becomes 3.969 after taxes, and the nominal 3.8% yield for the 13-month becomes 3.59. So both of those are still better than the current projected treasuries, and that's pre the anticipated quarter point drop that the Fed will do next week. So we'll see. But right now, as long as those rates are available, it may make sense for me to just move some money that I definitely don't think I'm going to need either in that 7-month or 13-month time frame over into a CD. And then I was looking at, again, as I shared with you guys, I had started to build some financial position and some financials a couple weeks ago, and so I waited until earnings came out on the 21st for Capital One, and because that's one I've been watching. The earnings came out; it was solid. They anticipate getting $2.5 billion in synergies due to their Discovery acquisition. So today I decided, since it was after earnings, and I knew kind of where they stood, that I would start a small position in Capital One. And so, it pulled back a little bit, and so that's what I did. I was able to get in and take advantage of that. And then we ended up going out for Chinese. I had taken food out to cook, and then I just didn't feel like it. So we ran out to Chinese. I had both of us had General Tso's chicken, and then came back and called my son and daughter-in-law because they had an appointment with their midwife today, as well as the first class that they had with regard to pregnancy and parenting. And she's now at 15 weeks, and everything's progressing exactly as expected. They had a number of other couples in the group with them, and so, while it wasn't as large a group as they had hoped for, the facility said that, people will probably tend to come into it as they get closer to her delivery date. More and more people will start joining the education sessions. And I was just thinking about the fact that, our total education session when my wife and I, when she was pregnant and we were leading up, we took a Lamaze class, and we had a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting. That was like the total amount of pregnancy education that we got. And then post delivery, it was education 101 on the job training without the training wheels on it, because we freaking didn't have anybody to rely on. At the time, we were living multiple hours away from anybody. We had no support system in place, and so we just winged it. And, knock on wood, everything turned out, okay. So I'm good with that. But I just laughed today, like the amount of education and advice that people are able to give or to look up relative to what you should be doing during pregnancy, how you should raise your kids afterwards. I mean, I guess it's the electronic version of what in my childhood would have been referred to like the Dr. Spock book or something. Anyway, I'm glad that they're getting the education that they feel comfortable with, and they'll raise their child as they see fit. And then I checked in with my mom. She had to go to labs this morning for them to draw blood, and then in the afternoon she had an appointment with her cardiologist for a 6-month check-in. Everything went well, so she doesn't have to go back for another 6 months. So everything's good there. And then my mom had texted me over a brief video that she had taken. My sister lives on the water, and she had some lights installed near her dock under the water so that she could like watch the fish at night. So she actually has like a two-seated swinging whatever chair that's out there by her dock. And so she and my mom were able to go out there, turn on the lights, and then watch the fishes swimming around. She said it was very relaxing. You could sit there, have a beer or wine or whatever you wanted, and just watch the fish, and it was, like I said, super relaxing. Anyway, that's my update for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you have a great evening, and until tomorrow, when it's going to be day 69 for me, take care.